There's cheese and there's herbs and seeds and all these things you can add to bread, but there's also just an untapped resource of grains that can be combined in different ways. I went to Denmark originally with the intention of researching rye bread, some of these different kinds of grain. What I found was that they were cultivating dozens of different wheat varieties, some old ones, all pretty different flavors, not radically different, but different like different tomatoes. You know, as a kid, it was definitely white bread or whole wheat bread. There wasn't like 10 different kinds of wheat bread with all slightly different flavors, so this was a really exciting thing for me, and it just sort of doubled the size of like what I had to work with, because bread, you're only working with flour, water, and salt, so you don't have a lot of sort of flavor options. That's why fermentation was such a big part, like how I can get flavor compounds that develop. So you're basically fermenting flour and water to different stages and then combining them. So it's multiple cycles at different temperatures and different times. And now we're opened up to all these different varieties of wheat. A lot of these grains that are the older varieties that people used to eat have been bred to have higher yield, to feed more people, be easier to harvest with machines, be easier to grind into flour by machines. So we've lost some of the grains that have more flavor, more nutrients. We're trying to think of alternative techniques for getting that grain into the bread, like amaranth, quinoa. You wouldn't typically make bread with them, but we can sprout them, put them into a dough, and then you get the nutrition from a sprouted grain, and you also get the flavor, which would be a really nice complement to wild fermented wheat bread. One part of the craft is working at the same thing for years and years and years, doing it over and over, trying to do it really well. And the other side of it that's equally important to me is using that skill and then pushing the creativity so that you're building on the tradition that you have, trying to add something, add a new style of making whole grain bread. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, sort of add something that other people will be able to take and build on what I make. So it's just like continuing to push the flavors and the techniques forward.